Imagine this. A stock quietly sitting at just $0.20. No hype, no excitement, almost invisible. And then one day, it starts moving. Slowly at first. Then faster. Then suddenly everyone is talking about it. Now let me ask you something. If that stock hits $1, then $3, then $5, will you be early? Or will you be the one saying, "Yaar, ye mujhe pehle kyun nahi pata chala?" Today, we're talking about a stock that has this exact kind of potential story, NWBO. But listen carefully, because this is not a fairy tale. This is a high-risk, high-reward reality. Right now, NWBO is trading in the penny stock zone, around $0.20, which makes it look cheap. And cheap stocks do one thing very well. They attract attention, because in your mind, you're already doing the math. If it goes to $1, that's 5x. If it goes to 5, that's life-changing. But here's the truth. Most penny stocks never reach $1. So the real question is not, how cheap is it? The real question is, why would it go higher? And this is where NWBO becomes interesting, because it's not just another random company, it's working on cancer treatment. A therapy that uses your own immune system to fight cancer. Think about that for a second. If something like this actually works, we're not talking about a normal company success. We're talking about something that could change lives. And when a company operates in a space like that, even a small breakthrough can create massive market reaction. But now let's bring reality into this, because this story is not new. NWBO has been around for years, and investors have been waiting and waiting and waiting. Delays, doubts, frustration. This is not a clean success story. This is a long, uncertain journey. And that's exactly why it's interesting today. Because when most people lose patience, they leave. And when they leave, sometimes opportunity starts building quietly. So now the big question, can NWBO go from 0.20 to 5? The answer is simple. Yes, it's possible. But it's not easy. And it's definitely not guaranteed. Because for a move like that, you need a powerful trigger. And in biotech, there's only one real trigger. Approval. If strong clinical results come, if regulatory approval happens, everything changes overnight. Suddenly, the same stock nobody cared about becomes the center of attention, and that's where explosive moves begin. But don't decide anything yet, because in the next part, we're going deeper into numbers, psychology, and reality. And this is where most people make mistakes. Now let's break this down logically. Without hype, without emotion, just reality. At 0.20, if NWBO goes to 1, that's a 5x return. Already massive. Most investors don't even get that in years. Now from $1 to 5, that's another 5x. Total move, 25. Sounds exciting, right? But here's what most people don't understand. Moves like this don't happen smoothly. They happen in phases. Phase 1, silent accumulation. Price moves slowly. Almost boring. This is where smart money sometimes positions early. Phase 2, attention starts building. Price starts moving faster. People start noticing. YouTubers start talking. Forums get active. Phase 3, hype explosion. This is where things go crazy. Price spikes. FOMO kicks in. Everyone wants in. And then comes the most dangerous phase, correction. Price drops suddenly. Weak hands panic. Late buyers get trapped. Now ask yourself honestly, which phase do most people enter? Phase 3. And that's why most people lose money. Now let's talk about the real risk. NWBO is not a guaranteed success. It depends on clinical results, regulatory approvals, funding, market sentiment. If things go right, yes, massive upside. But if things go wrong, the stock doesn't slowly decline. It can crash hard. That's why you need to understand something very clearly. This is not a safe investment. This is a speculative play, and speculative means uncertainty. But here's the interesting part. Uncertainty is where big money is made, because if everything was certain, there would be no opportunity. So the game here is not certainty, it's probability. Now in the next part, I'll give you my personal strategy, how I would approach NWBO, and how you can avoid the biggest mistake most investors make. Don't skip this, because this part can literally save your money. Now let's talk real strategy, because this is where everything becomes clear. First thing, never go all in on a stock like NWBO. I'm serious. This is not the kind of stock where you put your life savings. This is where smart investors think differently. They don't see it as a guaranteed win. They see it as an opportunity with asymmetric upside, meaning small risk, but potentially big reward. So what would I personally do? I would treat NWBO like a high-risk bet. A small position, something I can afford to lose completely, without affecting my financial life. Because let's be honest, there is a real chance this stock doesn't reach 5. There is even a chance it doesn't reach $1, and you need to be okay with that before you invest. Now here's another important point. Patience. Even if NWBO succeeds, it won't happen overnight. There will be delays, pullbacks, frustration. This stock will test your emotions. And this is where most people fail. Not because they picked the wrong stock, but because they couldn't handle the journey. Now imagine this scenario. You buy at 0.20. It goes to 0.50, then drops back to 0.25. What do? Most people panic and sell. And then later, it runs without them. That's the psychology of the market. And if you don't control your emotions, the market will control you. Now let's come back to the big question. Can NWBO hit 5? My honest opinion? Yes, it's possible, but only if everything aligns perfectly. Strong results, positive sentiment, investor attention, and a bit of market hype. But don't focus only on 5, focus on the journey. Because even a move from 0.20 to 1 is already a huge win. So the smart mindset is simple. Respect the upside, but respect the risk even more. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think NWBO is a hidden opportunity or just another risky biotech story? Comment below. And if you want more real, deep, no-hype stock breakdowns like this, make sure you subscribe, because the next stock we talk about might already be getting ready for its move.